And welcome back. Good afternoon, evening. It's evening, George.
George?
Rob, crikey.
Oh, you've lost the plot
Oh,
already.
do you know what? It's been a long afternoon. That was a hell of a game. Welcome back to Don's TV post match. As you're probably aware, we will have Johnny Jackson's thoughts straight away. Rob, just very quickly, 1-1 draw. It looked like a deflection for the first goal with Ollie Lees, who's taking credit for that.
Yep.
The second half, missed penalty. And a second penalty. You don't normally get two penalties in the game.
No, I was very surprised he actually gave the second one because I didn't really see much of the first one. A bit of a bundle in the box, and it's quite rare you get kind of two penalties for two pushes in a game. But fair play for the ref if he believes it's a penalty. He's given it, he's stuck to it.
Yep.
I like to see that, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not just saying that because it's gone in our favour, but
well,
I said it's rare if a referee does that.
And we had calls for a third one, but you never can get three
No,
penalties.
I said that. You're not going to get a hat trick of penalties.
You take your best two.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so time now for Johnny Jackson's post-match thoughts, and here we go.
So Johnny, a point against one of the promotion favourites in some people's eyes. Did you feel we matched them well?
I thought we matched them, brilliantly. I thought it was a really good game. First half, probably a bit of a stalemate to be honest, and they went in 1-up, which I felt was harsh. A bit of a deflected goal, and I didn't think there was anything in the game. And then second half, it come alive, and obviously we had to try and work our way back into the game. And I felt we was massively in the ascendancy. Got two penalties, one of which we took, and I felt like we might go on and win the game. And then it sort of ebbed and flowed from there. Really, they had opportunities. Obviously, Phil made changes that affected the game, and we had to make changes to try and affect it too. So I think in the end, probably got to say a fair result, even though I just said to the lads there, I feel we're capable of matching anyone, and we need to believe that.
Yeah, frustrations were quite high at times, but we still stuck to our game plan. How important was that?
It's really important. We're going to play 100 odd minutes. Emotions are always going to be high. We have to just stick to what we're good at. That's our shape, that's our work rate, and then obviously getting our forward players and creators on the ball in the areas that we want. I thought we've done it well. Really disciplined performance against obviously a really good side, like you say, fancy for promotion. So to go toe to toe with them, we're not patting ourselves on the back for that, because I want these boys to believe that they're capable of matching and going better than anyone.
You made the three changes which seemed to shift the way the game was going. What did you see that you felt needed to be adjusted?
Yeah, I just think an energy in the game, and sometimes you just need a stimulus. We spoke about it in the week, and I've got options from the bench that can impact the game positively if we need to go and chase his goal, if we need to defend a lead and stuff like that. So it's nice to have those options, and what's great is the lads that aren't involved support their teammates, and when they're ready, they come on and they have the impact that we want.
Yeah, and then James Tilley off the mark. Great penalty, just about kept it in the roof of the net. How impressive have you been with him so far?
Well, I think you can see by the minutes that he's played, and normally with wingers, and I guess if you ask Till throughout his career, he's probably been a starter but then gets brought off, or vice versa and stuff like that. But he's a fit lad. He's disciplined in the shape that we want, but he's got bundles of ability, hasn't he? And he can create. He's got a lovely left foot, and obviously stepped up with a penalty. And probably at that stage, that's what you want, someone to just put their foot through it, and took no chances and nearly took the net with it, I think.
Definitely. Johnny, well done, the point today.
Cheers, Chris.
And there we are, exclusive reaction from JJ, from Johnny Jackson. Sorry, Spike, welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be back.
Person from behind the screen.
Yeah, rare foray in front of it.
Johnny was saying there in terms of they're not patting themselves on the back for the point, which is good in a way, because I think actually we more than matched Wrexham today. And you think about the first three games, I think Grimsby had lost at Notts County by the odd goal. Notts County are touted to be favourites this league. I think we've held ourselves well in the first three games. You can commentary as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's an interesting one, because it must be very rare for two of the top teams to be teams that have just come up. Because you kind of think, we've got a draw at home against a team that's just got promoted.
Yep.
A lot of times you go, all right, well, on to the next one. But that actually, I would have taken a draw all day before the game kicked off. And on balance of the play, I think we matched them with ease. Not with ease. We matched them well.
Yeah.
And could have easily. I think of the three penalties, you were talking about the penalty shouts earlier, but of the three, the one that wasn't given on Tilly, probably was the strongest, I thought.
He was never giving it over, was he?
I mean, that would have been incredible if he did. But shoulder straight into the back, there's no way he's giving that.
Yeah. Rob, interesting. Obviously, you've got to discuss the penalties on that. Ali, are we just thinking, right, he's not going to score a penalty until the transfer window's shut? I'm not that we're going to discuss transfers, but from 12 yards, he's not been successful with 2 penalties now.
No, it's going to be interesting to see who steps up for the next one now, because Tilly rocketed it top corner, and it's a weird one because with Ali, he was our top goal scorer last season. He's obviously a confident lad, and he's keen to get off the mark. And normally you want your strikers on penalties, and he looked like he wanted the penalty today. He didn't shy away or
You want a striker to want penalties, don't you?
Yeah, and he didn't ask Tilly or Little, who I could imagine was quite good on penalties, to take it. He was happy to pick up, but he just didn't execute it well today. I don't know if it's one where they now practice on training ground for a week, or if Tilly now takes over as the main penalty kick taker. I'll be interested in moving forwards.
Definitely. You can't fault Addy for the way he played today. In terms of, I think, what did he get? 80 minutes today before he made 84 minutes before he made a change. I thought he led the line really well tonight.
Brilliant, yeah. You can tell. I was here for the Pompey game, and you could tell he wasn't quite at it just yet. But he looked so much better now. He's looking lively. He was running. I think the first penalty miss, you could tell he wanted even more to run around.
Yeah, he didn't hide, did he?
No,
didn't hide.
not.
I spoke to Mark Robinson on the way out after the game, and he was singing Ali Al-Hamdi's praises. He was really impressed with him. I don't think he's probably seen too much of him, but he said he led the line really well and looked lively.
He's just a handful, isn't he?
Yeah.
He occupies 2 centre-halves on that side. I don't think their 2 centre-halves really got much of a break today.
No, especially with Bugil as well, who I thought played really well up front. That's a good duo. And to have Josh Davison coming off the bench is... I'm getting used to having options like that. Incredible.
Johnny says in that, doesn't he, in terms of, and I was chatting to him before we'd done the interview, and he was saying it's a case of the subs now. We've got really good subs now that can impact a game. So Wrexham, it was more of a case of who was going to go first. We went first with the 2 subs and another 2, didn't we?
Yep.
And then they went with 3. It does feel now like the last 10 minutes of normal time, and we had 8 minutes of extra time today. It feels like that's a little mini game in itself, right?
Yep, no, definitely, and we saw the impact of the subs midweek. I think it's something we're going to get used to is us make 5 changes every week, and the nicest thing is we've actually got options on the bench to do different things. We can change formation if we wanted to. We've got attackers on the bench, which has been quite rare for us in recent seasons. Normally we've only had 1 fit striker at times.
Yep.
So yeah, it's exciting. The only one I was surprised by is McLean not getting on, if I'm honest with you, Stu, because I felt like surely his confidence would have been sky high after midweek. Well, I'm surprised he didn't get the nod ahead of Sasu for me. I'm criticising Sasu at all.
No, you're right. You're right, I get that.
Confidence.
But to be fair, he come on today, and he's a handful, Sasu, and he's a big lad for his age. He's got those long legs that just feel like he eats up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he feels like he can be behind, but those long strides can just get in there.
Giraffe legs.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. But
Yeah, he's one who, when we played against Leeds here in the Youth Cup last year, he really stood out, I thought, and I'm happy he's sticking around, and nice to see him around the team. I think on the substitutes in general, this game now more than anything is such a squad game. I know it seems obvious, but you look at Premier League teams like Man City, they can Kevin De Bruyne might not play a week, and you don't go, oh, Pep doesn't rate him. It's just that you have such faith in your squad that you can not play someone, and actually it doesn't mean anything because it's all about keeping your fitness up and everything like that.
I agree. It doesn't feel like we have a first 11. We have a squad, don't we, in terms of, and you can different combinations within that. I have to say I was really impressed with Ryan Johnson, Joe Lewis, Alex Pearce, Ogundiri. John Ogundiri had a tough afternoon because their fullback. The winger was really good in terms, but you know what? He never gave in and kept going.
He had James McLean against him, didn't he? And he really held his own.
Yeah, do you know what? I thought he didn't shy away from wanting the ball again, which was really good. But I have to say, defensively, and we've not even mentioned Bass yet, who he doesn't seem to be. How can I put it? He doesn't seem to be stretched. He always seems very calm. Does the saves? They've done a shot from distance.
One incredible.
I was expecting him to save, but I expected him to save already. I was going, well, you've got to be better than that to beat him from that distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think? So Johnson playing left back today, covering obviously for while Jack Curry's out there, doing a good job in there.
He looked brilliant. I think for me, he was probably player of the match. He just very comfortable, looked good going forward, but super solid. Just never, and then he slid into centre back when Pearce came off, and just again, I know that's his natural position, but he did that so easily, and brilliant, looking like a great signing.
And it's very much, pre-season, Rob, we've had that base, haven't we? Only conceded one goal in pre-season, which was an error, really, we played around with, didn't we? Today, let's be honest, it was a deflected goal, wasn't it? Luke that went over Bass. So they've not even beaten our goalkeeper properly. I joke with that. But I think it sort of says a bit when we're conceding goals that really deflection, not much we can really do about it.
Well, you know what? I looked at Wrexham stats last week and they had, over 20 shots.
Yeah.
Midweek against Wigan again, same, over 20 shots.
Yeah.
And I feel like today we weren't really tested too much. The shots they had came from distance. They put it this way, they didn't have any clear-cut chances where they were 1-on-1 on the keeper and, we've needed Bass to bail us out today. So, we really do look solid at the back. And look, we are undefeated so far this season. I know it's only 2 league games and a cup game, but
I'll take that.
But we're also undefeated in pre-season. If you combine all them games, it's probably undefeated in 10. So, I feel like when I looked at the fixtures come out, Wrexham, Coventry, Grimsby away, I was already thinking, how many points are we going to get here? This could be off to a rocky start.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've got confidence going into the next one of games now where, we've got Sutton away, which is another tough game, Derby. But like I said, we're growing in confidence.
And do you know what? Wrexham are going to take a lot of points off people on the road.
They will.
Yep.
I know we're
support that they had today was fantastic.
I know we're sort of saying that we matched them and we felt arguably we might have gone on to win the game, but you can see why they're a strong team in this league. McLean, Elliot Lee, they've got talent all across that team, haven't they?
Number 9's all right as well.
Do you know what? I thought he was a bit subdued
Quiet.
today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think that was a good job. I don't think he played poorly. I think it was a good job that was done with Alex Pearce. You can imagine, Alex Pearce wouldn't have been here, would he? Would have already Palmer.
No, I was thinking that. Funny enough,
I'm thinking who would have actually. Ogundiri would have been possibly in training, a bit younger.
Well, he knows Lee Brown, I think, doesn't he? I think they.
But they didn't play together because obviously when we were where Ollie Palmer went out one door and Lee Brown came in the other. But they do know each other. From,
it was good to see him back. I don't know about you. It was good to see him back. I liked Ollie a lot when he was here. And we can understand why he left. But it was good to see him back.
I think it's hard to have any ill will against him. He didn't, by all accounts, he didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't sound like anyone really at the club, apart from some people, wanted him to go.
Yeah.
Certainly people who might have still been in a job if he stuck around.
Wrexham were spending the money at the time.
Well, exactly.
So Dan Baker, job well done. Overall, we could have won it, but that's a satisfying point. Yeah, I noticed one bit late on when I think we had a throw, probably about 2 minutes to go, and Johnny Jackson was just calm it, I think, at that point.
Yep.
I think it's one of those, it's a good point, isn't it? They had a few shots late on, didn't they? And with that, also, we've got, I know Simon Wood, very solid performance. They'll only get better with time. Greetings from Canada. Welcome. We've got a Canadian flag. I don't think you can see it. It's over my left. Actually, no, it's gone. They've taken it. Damn, that was an lovely bit.
Taken back to Canada.
We've got a Canadian flag of a Canadian group and also a American one, which John Green earlier was very pleased to see. And did notice that the American flag was bigger. That's a thing in America, to make sure, obviously, the United States Canadian links.
They've got to fill their stars on it as well, don't they? So
well, one of the stars on there, isn't it? Let's go through the final scores for today across League 2. So let's have a quick look. So obviously, ours is 1-1, believe it or not. Barrow 2-1 up against, 2-1 up, 1-2-1 against Sutton. Bradford beat Colchester 2-1. Gillingham beat Accrington 1-0. Forest Green winning at Harrogate. Mansfield beating Morecambe. Milton Keynes beating Tranmere 1-0. Newport. Do you know what? I fancied Doncaster to do well this season.
Yeah, you said that. I'm surprised you didn't drop it already. But well done on two.
Season's more than 2 games, isn't it? But yeah, obviously Newport have done well. Notts County beating Grimsby 3-2 at home. I thought Grimsby were decent against us. A 1-1 draw at Salford between Salford and Crawley. Swindon 2-2, and interestingly, Walsall beating Stockport 2-1.
Stockport. Slow starters. Last year they started slow.
Our first 2 games, isn't it? Yeah, and by your goal as well. And I think Walsall have done well recruiting wise. Got Danny Johnson, who was loaned on at Mansfield, have actually. Interesting side of it. So thank you for that, Spike. I think also with our next 5 games, I'm just thinking now where is there somewhere? I'm just giving Spike something to find. But yeah, we're going to look at our next 5 games. I'll find it quickly for Spike. And this is great TV. I know it's here somewhere.
You talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, it is there somewhere. We're just going to quickly find the next 5 games for us. To be fair, we've got busy. Colchester away on Tuesday night.
That's it. Followed by Sutton.
Followed by Chelsea.
And I think it's them Forest Green Rovers. I could be wrong about that.
You're not far away. And do you know what? Spike is doing a cracking job of getting them. We'll have them soon. But yes, we've got Colchester, Sutton, Forest Green Rovers, Chelsea at the Bridge, at Stamford Bridge, sorry, Nicola had me for that. And then Newport, who look obviously have done really well today. What I did notice, we've only got, out of those 5 games, only 1 game at home.
Yeah, I was beginning to think we've got a lot of games on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, 2 of them are local in Chelsea and Sutton. You know, they're not far for us.
Yes.
So that's one benefit.
I think there are still Sutton tickets on sale, I believe, for Sutton and Colchester.
Yep.
Don't forget they are. I think they're available on a day, but also don't forget that if you do buy them from the club shop or the ticket office, it does account to your loyalty.
I was going to say that's nothing Colchester actually isn't too far. I remember doing it with you last season. You know, we've done it on Tuesday night again.
Yeah.
Didn't take too long.
Don't need this in the end, do we? You just reeled them all off.
Yeah,
from
sorry,
memory.
as you were doing it.
Yeah. Well done.
But yeah, graphic-wise, what I have done, you'll notice that the actual ground is in the circle, if you can see that. So, yeah, I might do that.
You've got proper fancy there, haven't you?
Sometimes you can just be too clever for your own good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Tutorials on Photoshop.
Doesn't suit you, true.
Yeah. Basically, what it says there is we've got 5 games, 4 away, 1 at home, Forest Green Rovers, which. Hey, look, do you know what? Nothing against Forest Green Rovers, but we've had a really tough start.
Yep.
It would be nice. And also, Wrexham, loads of fans here today. Dizzy TV. I don't know about you, Phil Parkinson felt like he was a rabbit in the headlights because he has so many people.
Yeah, I saw the amount of people.
You wouldn't have seen this, but for the press interview, he had probably about, 10, 20 microphones. There's a lot. One thing I would say with Wrexham, there is a lot of fans here, a lot of press. That's tough pressure.
Yep.
Going around
Huge
the league,
amount
isn't
of interest, especially. I mean, they haven't won a game yet in the league, and if they, I can't imagine he's on a very long leash. With if things start going.
You know what? I would rather us go about our business as we usually do. You know, when we obviously in 2016 the famous playoff final when we just snuck up, went about our business quietly. You know, with Wrexham, like I said, there is a lot of pressure. You know, expected by the bookies to be up there. You know, Ollie Palmer did say they're going to walk through the league. You know, which I think doesn't sometimes help. But you know, we're building a solid side here. We're keeping clean sheets. We're letting our
League
first.
2 ain't easy.
No, you know. I mean, I remember Portsmouth were down there for quite some time, and every season they thought they're going to go through. Bradford obviously always think they're going to go up. You know, it's not an easy league. So I think they're just going to come in and just walk through it.
Yeah. We've got a comment there from Ali Al Yazar. Where we got? Hi chaps. Been following Dons from Baghdad since Ali signed. Gutted for him missing the penalty again. Hope it doesn't affect him. I think the team has grown in spirit from the season though. Do you know what? Ali is such a strong mental. Such a strong mental frame of mind.
So strong mentally.
Yeah, the words are just the wrong way around. But I don't think that is going to impact him much. I think he's very driven. Of course, he's really disappointed that he hasn't scored from the penalty. But I don't see his part. Do you see that impacting him?
No way. No. I mean, he's seems like he's overcome a lot, both on and off the pitch.
Yeah.
And you could just tell from how he reacted after he missed it in the first place. It was only going to fuel him, I think. So.
Well, straight after the penalty miss, he picked up the ball, drove up about 3 defenders, had a left-footed shot, and it looked like it's going to go in. All he needs is, just to get off the mark, and there's no worries for Ali Al-Hamadi. Even if he doesn't get on a score sheet for a couple of weeks, he leads the line so well. You know, he's a real threat. We've got threats all around the pitch now. Tilly, Bugel,
on the
Newville,
bench as well.
and on the bench.
Yeah.
Stu, one of the things I found interesting today, Harry Pell came on, and I don't know if you remember, he gave a free kick straight on the edge of the area.
I thought he was going to get sent
off. This is what I found interesting, is the Wrexham players, all 10 or 11 of them, well 10, went and crowded the ref.
Fair point.
And I thought they were going to clamp down on it. I don't know if it's just me picking up on that, but I was surprised.
Now you say it.
I was surprised that the ref didn't do anything.
The rule is now the second person or the second or third person.
Well, there was 10 of them.
Well, yeah. maybe that was a problem. Maybe he can't book third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh.
He just got his yellow and spun round in a circle like you're all booked. But I thought it was surprising the ref didn't do anything there.
Because I was going to say also, and let's Harry Pell made an introduction, didn't he? Harry Pell doesn't just come on and hide.
No.
He gives away a free kick.
I think that's impossible for him.
Gives away a free kick and then wins the penalty.
Well, that's the funny thing. When he gave away a free kick, and I was in the South Zone, there was a few moans and groans, and then 5 minutes later, he falls to the ground and wins this penalty. I said I'd have to see it back.
He made an impact both ends.
Highs and lows of Harry Pell, right?
But
we love him. We love him for that. Yeah. You're right. What you're saying. I didn't really clock that. What I did clock was that both Phil Parkinson and Johnny Jackson both got booked for this new rule.
Did Terry Skiverton get booked as well?
Yeah, so I think Terry Skiverton, there's a new rule now. You're only allowed to have one person from your coaching team in the box.
Yes.
And if you're not, the second person. So I think Terry Skiverton was the person got booked. Then Joey Jackson gave a sarcastic applause, and then got booked. And then Phil Parkinson got the same thing. And Phil Parkinson was trying to say that he was actually on the concrete, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
I get it. Let's be fair. We've been down here long enough in League One and League Two to know there's coaching teams that fill that box.
Yep.
But it does feel a little bit.
Well, I was saying to Spike before. What happens with the Cowley brothers when they get a new job? Do they take it in turns? Like to
It's
me,
only one of them.
Well,
it's only
is
one
it?
of them.
Do they take it in turns? Like to me, to you? You know, like, how's it work? But I think, you know, I think they should allow two in technical. I understand, you know, if you start getting a third and fourth, like if Tuvi and Bezo, it does get a bit silly. But you know, you often saw last season with Stevenage. You know, you had.
Yeah, we don't want to pick on any one particular team, but yes.
Yeah. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think most managerial work as a duo. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
suppose the only way around it now is basically having joint managers, maybe. Not that I'm trying to get around the rules, of course, but do you know what? I like the rule simply for the fact that I think you can sometimes get coaching teams intimidating on the side, and it gets a little bit, and then obviously that leads by example on the pitch. But you're right, referee didn't do much with that today, although did play 8 minutes injury time or additional time, which I actually thought was quite. I thought we could have had more than that.
I thought it would be more, considering how much time has been added on in some games. We had
two penalties.
Bookings, 3 bookings for managers.
10 subs.
Not that we want to be here all night, of course. I know we love Flower Lane, but we don't want to be all night on that side of it.
Yeah.
Well, chaps, thanks for joining us. I think that would do us from now. Thank you.
I think one more to end.
Yes.
Myron Cassenbrood, pleased with the point. Top 10 is reachable, isn't it? I think top 10 is the minimum aim at the moment, isn't it?
Do you know what? I wanted to do a league table, but I know in the back of my head,
It's too early for league
Nick was saying,
tables.
when is too early?
Yeah.
When are we allowed to do it? Can we do it after
10
5?
games.
10? It'd be easier on my graphics, to be fair.
Let's go 10.
I think after the Newport game, you know, I think let's get Colchester starting. Forest Green Rovers Newport game. I think that's when the league starts shaping itself, and you can start seeing who needs to do a bit of work. You know.
Yeah. But do you know what? I'm not looking at bottom spike at the moment. I don't know about you.
No, and I know we're only 2 points off it, but
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it.
No.
I know.
They're gone.
I was going to say, I know Myron saying top 10 is possible. I think, you know, for me at the start of the season, I was looking somewhere between 10th and 14th. So, you know, like I said, I'd be happy with that, and we can sneak or push top
Progress,
10.
right?
Yeah, you know.
I think the good thing we've done, we've had pre-season, and we've continued pre-season through to what we all thought was a really tough start, and it still is a tough start. You know, Colchester away and Sutton away, it is tough. But I think you're right. I think from what we've seen, there's been a lot of encouraging signs, and if you've not been down to Flower Lane, or you were down today, hey, look, it's an exciting place to come down. We're not going to be here for a little while, but I think it's all. So on to Colchester, which is on Tuesday night. I think that probably will be on iFollow. It'll be on iFollow if you haven't. Colchester, to be fair, well, we've done Colchester. It was a bit cold, wasn't it?
It was very cold, wet, in the middle of nowhere.
Was that like between Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Christmas
that's
and
it.
New
It was
Year?
the last game for AFC.
That was it?
Yeah. Before
Yeah,
Sutton.
signed off of a late win, Ethan
I
Chisholm.
think our last win for a little, for a little while, wasn't it? On that. So
Talking of AFC, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the team, all the teams in the league between now as the transfer window still open. You know, I think there's teams who still got work to do. Be interesting to see what happens.
Definitely.
Between now and the end of
Any
the window.
scouts who've been watching this game, we've been playing terribly. I wouldn't bother watching any of the players.
And just say well done to the England women's team who progressed through to the quarterfinals or semi-finals
Quarterfinals
against the host nation, Australia.
Indeed.
So I know there was a big group of people watching that in the Phoenix earlier this morning.
No doubt be showing the quarterfinals here as well.
When is that? Do you know when that? I was asking when the court. Can we not play it at a stupid time? I know. Like,
why can't we just make them give them one game where they've got to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it rather than us?
But well done to the women's team on that. And guys, well, thank you very much, Spike. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks for Don's TV against Forest Green Rovers.